guess it's coming. We know it's coming because visual art, I guess, is a little bit behind uh, novelists and writers who are worried about this issue with their work being kind of plagiarized or at least copied. I just wonder if the Portrait Prize may be going out a bit early. Maybe somebody's got to. I mean, the Archibald Prize was taken away from an artist called John Bloomfield a few years ago because he didn't comply with one of the requirements, which was that the subject should be actually needed to be seen. You know, they had to sit for the subject for the prize. It couldn't be just generated from a photograph. Well, I think it's moved on from there, and photographs are absolutely accepted in lots of portrait prizes and things. But generally, they're described as such. I just wonder how the element that is AI generated will be described by the artist, and then in which case, how much of the entry is down to the artist and how much to a manipulated artificial intelligence.
And you've noted that this is coming, and we've seen some of the photos and works on screen. This is a global discussion that's happening right now. Given that the pace of this technological development is advancing so quickly, are there some sort of parameters that you think need to be put around this, or disclosure, identification, or some sort of regime like that?
I think, yeah, I do, Dan. I think that disclosure is the thing. I mean, what element is when you think back to the old masters. I mean, the word masterpiece is derived because those artists, you know, Tintoretto, all the great old masters, they had huge studios full of artists working for them under his direction. But the hand of the artist himself, that was the important thing. And those works are the masterpieces. So a Leonardo da Vinci that is painted by him, not by his studio, is worth maybe $300 million. By the studio, it might be $300,000. That's the sort of thing that I think we have to look at in this AI. You know, how much is technology and how much is the hand of the artist and the soul of the artist, and also of the subject too. It's hard to imagine that an artificial intelligence computer can get into the soul of the subject. And I mean, that's what great portraits are. We visit the Archibald Prize and the Brisbane Portrait Prize in our thousands because we want to see other people and ourselves in this work. Can this work from a computer?
Well, I think there's a key question there, isn't it? Because when you're talking about the soul of the artwork, won't it be for the judges and for the public to say, well, actually, we connect with that, as opposed to what might be a brilliant piece of work from AI, but that lacks that soul or that heart?
Yes, exactly. And if the computer can create that, then my gosh, aren't we in a whole new world? Yeah, I mean, art has always led a lot of things in development of human nature, and maybe we're seeing that here. I think it's. I said earlier on to somebody, it's a slippery slope. What's at the bottom of the slippery slope? A rock covered by snow, digitally manipulated, or nice powder. We can go on downward and downward, or upward and upward. I don't know. It's interesting days, and I'll be watching with a great deal of interest. A lot of my artists are very worried already, thinking, what does this mean for me?
And it will obviously have implications on the market more broadly. I understand that's a Robert Brownhall artwork that's behind you. If there was an AI version next to it, do you think it would change the way we look at it, the way that we interpret, the way that we respond to art?
Would you know? This is the thing. Yeah. If you knew, you would. If you didn't, that's why fakes are so interesting. The two paintings, one the original, one a forgery, are sitting side by side. The forgery is a fantastic version of that one. Until somebody tells you, they're both equally valuable, both in value, say, monetary value, and how people think of it. But once you know, then you look at it differently. There's a inverted commas Van Gogh in the National Gallery Victoria in Melbourne, which for decades was thought to be a Van Gogh. Now the experts have decided it's not. It's got a little panel next to it explaining that it was bought as a Van Gogh, but now it's not. Everybody looks at it. They go to the Van Gogh. Oh yes, that's wonderful. They look at that and they say, oh, it's not so good. Of course, it's a fake. Until it was pointed out, nobody knew they were bad. You had a Van Gogh. That's what is going to happen with AI. I think that's why disclosure is important.